the situation in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you I'm the one, you're gonna need to make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end, I will always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end, I will always be right by your side. I know you're the one, I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart, I see you in my dreams, I keep you in my prayers. That's what the situation in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another day. I'm on right here with my main man, Priest, and we're about to get into the games. The teams are already, flying high, getting ready to jump into Erangel. And I'm a bit tense because yesterday's games were really exciting, Priest. So what do you think? You think we're gonna have a repeat of what we saw yesterday?
I mean, it's been an interesting kickoff to the finale. We saw RSG step up to the plate yesterday, taking, I believe, 2 chicken dinners out of 4. So that is really how you start the day if you're trying to win, in a tournament as prestigious as this one. So big shout out to the guys from RSG doing a magnificent job of holding out. But, it's just day 1. Now we are here with day 2. So this would be a more little bit of a defining day, to give teams a little bit of an inkling of what it is they're really doing here, what they are trying to achieve, what is actually possible, if if they need to change things or switch things up, if people are trying to get a little bit more aggressive, or trying to secure a little bit more placement points. It all boils down to today and what it is going to do on the leaderboard at the end of the last game. We set our sights on the Invincibles yesterday. We saw them get a little bit angsty right out the gate. They got into a lot of engagements in yesterday's matches, and they did perform optimally watching them. But that chicken dinner did elude them for a little bit there. But 21st Century looks like they're getting to a little bit of a skirmish with the guys from the Phenoms. Another team that is contending to finish up in first place. They did have a fantastic barrage of games yesterday. They're looking to continue that onslaught going into today's matches. And hopefully, that will be panning out for them. But the Invincibles have in a regular fashion, gotten themselves first elimination courtesy of Diva, but Alras has been knocked away here. Might require a little bit of assistance in the military base. The action continues and the attraction discontinues. The violence is all around the board right there. That's a beautiful touch, but Omar will be knocked away with the UMP and with the quickness there. One touch again through the corner. Coco, or rather, all the way across there. Few touches. 21st Century might be in a little bit of trouble here. But Aras will be on the ground floor with the S12K trying to do a little bit of miracle performing there, just trying to hold them off. 21st Century still looking very strong here. They've got one up. You can see Achilles just spraying into the corner, but unfortunately shots do not connect. He's gonna go all the way to the ground floor, but he is going to be stopped away there.
Oh, amazing gameplay coming in from Aras and his boys. You can see Aras finishing that one with 3 eliminations to his name, and he was able to, get his team. I mean, at some point, Priest, it looked like the boys of 21st Century were going to come back into this fight and somehow make it through out of this military base. But Aras just putting up a great performance right there. But regardless, they did lose 2 of the players quite early on. So we've seen the first elimination to come in this game so far, as the teams have been, fighting it out tooth and nail. But speaking about fighting it out, we still got a lot of potential skirmishes about to happen. On the other end, in that northern side, we got Kage not too far away from the boys' Frenzy.
Apex have not necessarily had the best of start coming into the COC Grand Finale. They've not been able to secure some significant points on the board. They are dwindling all the way at the bottom. You would never see this. You would never think that is something you would see, but it is happening. Only the CEC Kage hops up there, but he's going to be run over. And Navy will sink the Apex ship a little further. It's an unfortunate scenario for Apex here. They've not been able to find their footing. Machine will be the last one up. And hopefully he will not get discovered all the way out here in ruins. It will not take a lot for the other players to spot him in this location. It's very inconspicuous. He might be discovered sooner rather than later if he doesn't find a better position. But Fire, what do you think is going on with Team Apex right now? We know them; they're powerhouses. They turn up every single time. But are you trying to say that the COC is just a little tier above?
I mean, I don't really think it's about being a tier above. I think that there has been a lot of changes to so many different teams, and I do see that teams have improved. in recent times. So maybe it's getting used to the lobby, getting used to the changes that's been happening. But also there might be some internal problems that we don't know about because regardless, we've seen Apex playing very tough lobbies, right? I mean, this is Apex. They've won so many things. Even they've played in a lot of Moroccan tournaments, Algerian tournaments, and they have come out on top. So they've played in very difficult lobbies and still performed quite well, being one of the best teams in a lot of tournaments that they've played in. Not just sub-Saharan African tournaments, but tournaments across the northern side of Africa. So and they've done quite well. So it's shocking to see them struggle in the finals here. Maybe things will pick up. Something may be wrong. There's maybe some, issues with internet. There may be some internal, problems. Maybe one or two players are not available for them, and it's not just gelling as well as they probably can. But hopefully they get the issue resolved because you want to see one of the best clans in sub-Saharan Africa doing well.
That's for sure. Definitely want to see them. Definitely want to see them doing well. That's for certain. And again, Team Apex, we've seen what they're capable of. We've seen their abilities, but it's an unfortunate turn of events that they've not been able to rise to the occasion just yet. But there's still a little bit of time. There's still a little bit of boundaries to cross for them to rise to that occasion that we know they are capable of. But Galaxy, situated very nicely in this area. I think they are sitting all the way in the southern side, not giving away too much ambiguosity in this position. They're sitting pretty nicely. We've got a couple of vehicles to work with, some utilities here and there. And I think, owing to this one, they might be able to defend this position. But I think the play zone will shift them a little bit further north and change their trajectory. So they would have to reevaluate whatever it is they are trying to set up and work with from this position. But it looks like there's some chaos already brewing inside of the kill feed there, and that tells you that the action all the way out there in Rozhok might be a little bit tentative for most of these teams. But Galaxy Fire, do you think they need to change their strategy? They were pretty quiet yesterday, and now I'm not sure. I saw a little bit of a couple of changes in the starting lineup for today. But do you think those changes are going to yield to?
Ooh. All right, with the quickness right there, you can already see Navy beginning to feel the heat coming through. The boys from Pain already taking on the action. There's also a Machine who's looking around, so they do need to be careful. You can now see that rotation beginning to come through as Jacob is making that rotation towards an angle. I do believe he might be able to get just thirds, and thus with the quickness right there, they do take out Akaza, and Desire has got to be careful because he's surrounded by so many different players. It's just left with him and Toxics to defend against a squad that is known to be super aggressive, and it's not looking quite good for them, Priest.
Well, there's a lot of energy being dispelled over there. Grenade over the top. See Navy. Zaya tries his best to pop, lock, and drop, or he's going to be swept away there with the quickness. Jacob for Pain. Africa will deliver the pain to the guys from Navy. Unfortunately, that will seal the deal for them. We're down to 13 teams now. 3 teams have already found their way back into the lobby, hoping to get another shot going into the next game. Hopefully that will not tarnish their efforts so far, but Pain sitting very, very nicely on the upper echelon of that leaderboard. They did have some fantastic games yesterday, and they will be looking to do more of the same. I think they've set their sights a little towards the guys from Galaxy. That potential engagement that we saw earlier, it looks like it might yield into something outside here of Ruins. And don't forget, I think we've still got that straggler from Apex in the vicinity as well. So might be playing a little bit of a central position. But again, Pain, 4 eliminations up, looking like they're trying to repeat a little bit of action from what we saw yesterday. I think you remember They had an interesting couple of games yesterday, especially game one. They did good enough, but RSG did steal it away from them and the guys from No Pressure. And those are two teams that have not actually seen them, pop off just yet in the feed. RSG and the guys from No Pressure. So hopefully, I'm also looking out for those teams as well. And yeah, I'm excited to see what exactly the leaderboard is going to be looking like by the end of game one.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see what that actually, turns out to be. I'm trying as much as possible to see if I can get the leaderboard sorted out so that we can take a look at that after the game one. But yeah, we will basically have that on for you guys to see. But regardless, the teams are going toe to toe against each other. And just try to pull up the statistics for you guys so that you can see from the menu there who and who are stunting in the lobby so far. So far, it is the boys from Pain Africa who have got all the kills and they're continuing on to dominate in this particular game. As you can see right there, you can see them continuing on with the dominance. But obviously on this corner, Diva is starting again, and Diva's in a very sticky situation, and she's done a lot of damage. Quite lucky right there, as the shots are coming through from the boys from Active Gaming. It is Riley who continues to pound in the shots onto this region. You can see that Nexus is now beginning to get closer and closer into this position, trying to see if they can get that early knock to come through. And it's always dangerous, Chris, between these two teams because, Active Gaming and, Invincible somehow, stay within very similar vicinities.
Exactly. And I would expect them to run into each other more often than not, but it seems like they've mastered a lot of those evasive maneuvers. As you can see, Diva here is just trying to, reconvene with the rest of the team. There's Sean and I believe Ronnie pull up to the scene to complete the squad. They're playing as four, so they do not have a lot to give away for the moment. But the guys from Pain are going to be circling the block as well. There's a whole lot of teams in this region. The chaos is absolutely astronomical going at this rate because most of these teams know that they are one good game away from getting a taste of that prize money, and they are not going to let this one go. And you can look into the feed as Ghost lets some 5.56s fly from the Scar L as he gets a confirmation onto the guys from Frenzy. One player knocked away and sent back into the lobby courtesy of Ghost. Active Gaming up one elimination, I believe, and it looks like their strategy today is starting to pay off. We saw them do a chicken dinner yesterday, putting themselves in that upper echelon. So I am looking forward to seeing more action from Active Gaming, especially from Format and Ghost. That is a very, very strong combo, and might yield them more chicken dinners going into the final third.
Yeah, we'll see what that means at the end of the day for all of these teams if they can provide that same performance as they did in yesterday's games. But regardless of it, we're still seeing so much action going down from the boys from Pain as they've been able to pound a lot of players. So far, they're leading the chart right here in this one with 5 eliminations, but you can't take it away from so many other teams. But speaking about pounding teams, you can now see Ghost coming into this region where the boys from Invincibles are currently rotating at and is looking for that entry knock to come through. But they gotta be careful. There's also frequent. Frequent. I'm trying to. You see, my mind is telling me it's frequent. It's my head wants to say frequency, but I know it's not. I know it's not frequency. I know it's frequent something, but anyways, it's one of those tongue twisters.
I will call them frequency. You're lucky it's not me. I will call them frequency.
They are frequent play.
Yeah, frequent play is frequency. Now they play with frequency. That's frequent play. I mean, might as well use the English to our advantage. But Ghost will just hop out in front of the play zone. I think that is the Active Gaming path of moving into the zone. We've seen this time and time again. As you can see, Ghost is trying to keep the back line clear because you know that any movement you make inside of the zone right now is going to be heavily watched. You cannot play around because if you play, you will learn. Active Gaming do not want to learn the hard way at all. They've got 2 eliminations courtesy of Nexus and Ghost. And looks like they might be holding on to a little bit more. 15 seconds to the play zone starts to make that shift. And the play zone has moved all the way a little bit towards this side of the water town, the sunken city, just east of school area. So most of these teams will have to run into each other if they're not careful enough to get those eliminations parking through. But Ghost does have a little bit of intel onto the guys from the Phenoms. They're circled into that building, but he will tend to move into the zone instead, because that would be the wiser choice.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll see, what that does mean while I try to see if I can get this. I'm trying to adjust some things here, but just give me a second. Just continue while I sort this out.
Well, if you're a fan of Ghost, also rate his driving skills as he Ubers his way with the rest of his teammates and running into a little bit of commotion in the front lines there. You can hear the action just popping up in front. And Reels will lay waste to, I believe, the guys from Galaxy in front. There's so much chaos going on, but Ghost is going to be circling the block to gather as much intel as possible. But Active Gaming now on the receiving end. Reels gave away a little bit too much skin, and he did pay the price almost immediately there. There is no rest for the wicked, as Reels will be paying the price there for the chaos and damage that he's been causing. Somebody had to put a stop to that, unfortunately, and they did. But here comes Nexus again now. Will be bearing a little bit of brunt from the action. But fortunately for him, Ghost is at the rescue. We'll pick him up and we'll hold him down for the time being. Smoke's coming out. We'll be able to save his teammates and hold off for the time being. They are into a pocket space of the zone right now, filling the entire area with smokes. Is looking like Christmas out here. It's so white. You can love the guys from Active. The use of utilities is tantamount to success. They're always chilling in that southwestern corner, not giving away too much intel to the rest of the teams, but they are in a potential sandwich between the guys from Pain and Galaxy. But Galaxy does have the Invincibles to deal with, and all this is happening in that western side. There is no single person in the eastern region. Absolutely no one has occupied that space, and I believe anyone that's trying to change the game right now would choose that position. But Diva trying to look through and find an angle to hold on with. Grenade starting to come out to deal the damage there. Has been knocked away, not be able to pick him up just yet, but no noise. He might just get tagged up. Ollie exposed himself a little bit too much there. Will pay a little bit of the price as well, but Sean will be leading the charge in front. Grenade is good. Might just land onto Sean there, and it did land onto Sean. Diva has shit the bed right now. Is looking very crazy for the Invincibles, as Sean has been knocked away by a teammate's grenade. That signing is not looking too nice right now. Sean will go back into the lobby courtesy of Ice, and Galaxy now have been given the front foot by Diva. And Invincibles back into the lobby.
Oh, Diva, you're needed quite quickly. And this one, Diva's the last teammate trying to get that revive quite quickly to begin to provide that support. But with 3 men trying to barrage and push into this location, it almost is over as they land right there on top of Diva and basically send her packing.
Unfortunate turn of events here, but Pain still looking very strong. They've got 8 eliminations and they are already on their way, trying to find a way inside of that next zone. I believe they did spot the guys from Dose, and they will be landing down. Jacob with a beautiful finish with the Scar L there, touching up and going through with it. The airdrop just forming a little pocket of cover, but that's a beautiful touch. Sasuke, another grenade to seal the deal there. The guys from Dose they are absolutely not having it. They are bombarding the guys from Pain one after the other. It's all left to Yashir at this point. Can he do something? 9 eliminations for the guys from Pain, but they're outside the zone. He's going to run a marathon at this point to get inside, but Dose has been waiting. Galaxy pops a grenade. Ice beautiful touch, but unfortunately falls a little bit too short. Molotov cocktail right in his front. He has to find a better position to deal with the guys from Active Gaming as well. But he cannot. There's only so much he can do. He's going to be iced out with that M4 all the way from the northern side. Active Gaming surely now aware, but Captain is just prone in the corner. He has a beautiful position, but he has to be careful. There's so many ops around. The moment he lets fly, he will be the potential target. Grenade onto the right side. Unfortunately fails. Format. And the guys from Active Gaming looking very, very enticing right now. But one after the other, they're spraying through. Who goes now? Nexus falling one after the other, but Format shoots through the smoke. Probably a jump shot now onto Captain's position. Galaxy in trouble. He's sure the Molotov cocktail might come out in handy here, but the tag is good. And here comes the touch from Format. He tries to seal the deal there, and Captain will be swept away. Active Gaming elimination just went up a couple, and they are up to 7 now. And Format just drives away just in time to escape the danger. Active Gaming, unfortunately, will be swept away by RSG in the dying moments of the game when RSG tends to come alive.
And there was some RSG now coming alive in that moment, looking to see if they can snatch the chicken dinner. We got 3 teams, and once again, it is the boys from DOS vying in for that position. But there's that one player, 10-11, 10-11 player, 10-11. My God. Players are giving themselves names. I feel like they want to punish us. Like they do. They are doing this on purpose. They're like, let's make it difficult for them. Anyways, going into this position once again, you have the boys from RSG with a full squad. It looks like they can seal this one. They've got 6 eliminations to their name, and those extra points will continue to put them all the way on top of this one right here. You can see them now going in for the juggler. Roach making that push, and he's got in that entry knock into this location. So seeing through the boys from Dust. They now turn the sights onto the last player. You can see that DBS on 10-11. He's been spotted, and with the quickness, Roach does get that final elimination to seal that deal for our first game of the night. And it goes to the guys who are on top of the leaderboard before today's games. It is RSG continuing to show the dominance in the games and putting a gap between them and the rest of the lobby, Priest.
RSG and more and more and more. Yet again, a chicken dinner for RSG. They just continue to advance, and that is what I'm telling you. That is a team that has learned the game. They have learned the tricks of the trade. I mean, Fleeke, and Roach with a beautiful stoner by the side. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Their lineup is absolutely insane right now, and they are loving every minute of it. The COC has to be ready for the guys from RSG. They have been absolutely brilliant. Now it looks like they're ready for it. It looks like it's gonna be their day again today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking like it's going their way. We'll for now take a quick break. We'll come back with some action in just a couple of moments. So see you guys soon. When we do come back, we'll take a look at the leaderboard and where everyone stands, but it's looking so far like the boys from RSG are leading the pack. We'll find out that and much more when we get back. See you in a couple of minutes.
first. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need a link away from me to see. But that's for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end, I'ma always be right by your side. But that's for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end, I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one, I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart, I see you in my dreams, I keep you in my prayers. That's what till the end, I'ma always be right by you. Intermission in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss.
All right, guys. So we're on to another game right now, and quickly we'll just talk through the previous game. You know, you guys can see the current leaderboard and see how Rage Shield, our boys, are doing quite well for themselves. And we must say, Fly must be on top as the our current MVP, but we'll know that later on our social media. But I mean, what are you gonna say about this so far, Priest?
Yeah, I'm super impressed. You know, three chicken dinners is not an easy feat with the quality of teams that are inside of this lobby right now. Paying Africa getting slowly and slowly, swept backwards with no pressure and active gaming chasing shadows at this point. Phenoms and Galaxy Gaming, Death Dose, 10-11, all of these teams are within reach of each other, but none of them is within reach of Rage Shield until they have, the kind of consistency that RSG has had so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of the same, coming into this game as well. So yeah.
All right, guys. So we're now moving into you can go if you want to, but we're now moving into our second game of the night, and you can see that playing part moving all the way from that southeastern region right down to that northwestern. So there's a lot of space for these teams to work with, and we know the guys who love to start in on that early action right there at Picado. We'll be looking to see if they can get in on those early eliminations. I'm very sure that we're going to see Invincibles Priest, our aggressive merchants are. I'm just going to tune into them because I feel like they're definitely going to get into some early fights. No, they can't. They can't. Yeah, they can't yet. Yeah, but guys, there's crowns in the background, but I just need your ninja. Once I get your ninja, I'll be able to get you in. I know Priest has like a headache, so I know that's why Priest probably not coming back. Yeah, he's probably not coming back. Once he saw you in, I know he was like he's going to. That was cute. Yeah. Okay. No, just send it to the chilling chat here. The chilling chat, yeah. Yeah, I can get it. I'll get it in a sec. Yeah. Okay, let me just try to get that in because there's some action already beginning to start and ooh. Okay, you're in now. You're in now.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the delay, but I am here, and I guess that is all that matters. It is the Clatter of Class Season 19 Grand Finals. I thought today was day 2, but if it is day 1, whatever day it is,
it's day 2. I actually was supposed to change this guy here. That's my fault. But let me do that now.
Now we already know if anything happens, just blame fire, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're starting to see hot drops now coming in through. It's going to be Galaxy looking to get started with Pen Africa, and this is where things don't get fun, especially when you're in the finals. I like the initiative coming through from Pen Africa, but I don't know if Ice is feeling very generous to allow them to escape as they are. Will be the one falling down and taking the damage for that one. And to be honest, if I were to be the players there from Pen Africa, there is really no point staying back. Just get yourself in your vehicle. You already found one. You've lost 2 players. It's not bad. Just live with it. It's not you won't be the first. So, but it's ultimately a good start coming through from the players there from Galaxy. Anyway, starting to see more moves coming in through. It's quite interesting to see this idea of of Pen Africa still lurking in the background, to be honest. I would have expected them to, leave as compared to just, waiting around trying to see if they can find themselves some return knocks, because there really is no point trying to fight anymore. You're already injured. Just go back, try to lick your wounds, get yourself feeling better as compared to trying to take the fight again with this full squad of Galaxy.
Well, definitely, but sometimes you just wanted to make sure that you're getting one or two knocks and just finding the scapegoat amongst the teams. Sometimes it's very painful. You knocked me, you knocked my friend, you killed my father.
Well, I mean, ultimately, play for the late game. That's what we would always advertise, especially when you're down as a two-man squad. You don't want to go on, fully challenging a whole squad there. That is not something that you want to do. But it's interesting to see that that's the only hot drop we got. Still seeing a couple of scattered drops across the map there, with Red Shield being out there in El Pozo. Ladriela currently being empty. The same thing can be said about Mountain Weather. And I hope the side here of Pen Africa will be looking towards having one of those two places as a drop location going into future games here in the finals. It's looking like a bad day for this idea of no pressure, because they've got Prison and Lost down there on the southern side of the zone, and the Electro is all the way towards that northern outskirts of La Cabrera. That's where things don't start to get fun, especially for the teams. We'll keep an eye out for that team actually, to see if they will be able to come through to a what do we call it, peaceful reunion.
Obviously, we'll see if that happens, but peace is a myth, and it rarely ever occurs in this life, as you can see. Free
enough.
Palestine, I know that.
Fair enough.
But regardless, we'll see if we can actually find some common ground in this game, as the teams, as you can see right there, are still looking for the man Clutch, all the way right next to Galaxy, is still looking to see if he can find one or two knocks. They've been absolutely stubborn in this position. Omar and Aras have been sent back into the lobby, and obviously they should, like Crowns have said, believe in this situation and looking to play for the placement points, but they are being absolutely stubborn. Or it may be others from their IGL. And you can see, just like I said before, they're looking for that one scapegoat, and it looks like that is definitely going to be the man captain. And I mean, what would you say about this, Crowns? I mean, is this the move that you should be making when you're down to a two-man squad?
It's a 2-for-1 trade for the time being, right? And it does look like they want to commit to that fight, which I would say not to, because it's still a full squad, right? So if you're just blindly committing to that fight, of which it is very obvious, or quite obvious right now, that revive is something that will be able to be pulled off. The side of Galaxy Gaming now looking to hang on by the sides. And to be honest, I feel like Galaxy Gaming, this is a fight that they can actually take, right? You're still in the zone in stage one. It tells the two-man squad. You can easily push up, isolate either one of them, take them out one after the other. Either you take both of them out, or you at least get one of them to, get out of your way. That's basically the play. But it doesn't look like a Galaxy Gaming. I've got that one in mind as we start to see them going for a little bit of a retreat, with Pen Africa also still being back. As I said, this is pretty much a lost fight. It doesn't look like Galaxy Gaming want to push up to the fight, and Pen Africa would need at least 2 knocks before they can feel very comfortable on pushing that fight, because right now it is 1 knock on a squad of 4, and there is a compound to work with. It starts to get tricky from here on out as the third parties now start to roll in. It's going to be frequent play coming in through from third party of the century, which taking out one of the players there from Pen Africa.
Oh my God. I mean, for a second, I was thinking that we were going to see some interesting gameplay coming through from Pen Africa, as they were looking quite aggressive in that push up against Galaxy. But now the third party has probably changed what could have been. Could we have seen a 2v4 up against this team? They seemed like they were very aggressive in that move. We saw them again do it against 21, but that was Aras and his body Clutch performing quite well in that position. But this time around, it is a Mirama, and the third party has definitely humbled them in this moment. So we'll see how they continue to play that out, what their strategy is going to be in that move. Like Crowns has said, they probably maybe should have focused on getting themselves those extra placement points. And we've seen this, Crowns. There's sometimes when you just go for that placement point. You're still a 2-man squad, and at the end of the day, while it looks like your numbers are dwindled, going into that final circle, there's a lot of teams that have lost bodies too as well, so it could still work well for you.
Yeah, it was something that I wouldn't even. It was a no-brainer really for me. Like, get out of there. You're a two-man squad. Work for the placement points, but looked like they had eliminations in mind. Sadly, this is not like the other game we play where your damage actually means something. You know, but but right now, keep farming the damage. 0 eliminations, no vehicles before clutch. And well, clutch, you're going to have to clutch up when it comes to surviving. I was going to say, Galaxy Gaming also not a team to sleep on. You know, we did see them play quite well in the previous season of the COC. So you know, going into this season, I'm not very surprised to see them actually doing well, and I feel like they're just one of those formidable teams that you know you don't want to go up against, especially as a two-man squad. But with frequent plays now, outside the circle, looking towards the side of Galaxy Gaming, it's now a question of do they want to go for the blue side, do they want to engage? It does look like they're still trying to gather a little bit of information, but you know, you can't be wasting time. This is Myanmar, time is ticking, 16 teams still alive, you need to get into that zone.
Yeah, definitely. You want to make sure that you do find yourself in a good position. And you can already see that the play zone is being the monster that it is if you joke with it, as Electro from No Pressure gets knocked out. Now, Clutch is being... I'm not really sure what exactly Clutch was doing right there. I think he was taking too much risk. And you can see that the boys from frequent play...
We're getting there.
Throughout this production, Air Crowns, as in this frequent name has been putting me in a lot of trouble because there's another clan called Frenzy and there's Frequent. Yeah, so every time I keep having to tell my brain it's not Frenzy, it's Frequent, and it's frequent play, not frequency. So sometimes they say frequency and we're making that mistake, and you know, yeah. But Priest said you just say frequency.
Yeah, I think this is what happens when you just know too much English, you know. The English becomes too much, it starts to choke. So I really wouldn't blame you on that one. So yeah, we'll blame it on the language. That's definitely, it happens. But we'll see if we can work with it. Now that you've said it, now you put it in my brain. Now I have to talk to my brain, not to process it that way. Damn.
Not to say frequency. Yeah. All right. All right, so we'll see how it goes if that's possible. But anyways, Galaxy keeps on putting themselves in compromising situations as Ice, that man, keeps getting knocked over and over again, and we can see that is happening in this position once again as they do find themselves in quite a sticky situation. Now the push is coming through, and Drago and his man need to try to somehow keep their hopes alive and trying to see if we can put one of the players from frequent play to bed, but it's currently not working out. Drago is left to somehow battle it out. He gets a knock onto one of the players right there from Galaxy, and so far he's holding things out. He gets another knock as well, Priest, and can they do this? Can they do this? Can they do this?
They're actually doing it, and there's a little bit of third party looking to put a spanner in the work there for the side of Galaxy Gaming, or even actually making the side of frequent plays. But Galaxy Gaming would lose one more player. She's just still downstairs. The shot's coming in through, but Drago not quite able to hold on to the forts there. The side of frequent plays definitely not happy about this one. They've lost 2 players, but well, third party did come through from none other but Red Shield, and to be honest, with the way Red Shield has been playing this tournament, one wouldn't be too surprised seeing them being the ones to push up to this fight. And I'm actually quite impressed, really, seeing the side of Red Shield play this better. You know, there was a whole lot of bronze that I gave them in the previous season, and it's good to see them here now, stepping up the ante and playing better.
I mean, there's something about the way that Flag has been playing lately. I've been watching, and I think Flag is Danny Brown, right? If I'm correct, because I think I was watching one of his montages where I saw what I think is Danny Brown, but I'm not sure. Correct me, guys, in the chat if I am wrong. But there's just been a way he's been playing lately that has been a bit different. The server's so laggy, I couldn't even enter the game. Says Alan PUBG. I'm absolutely sorry about that. Just kick me out. Fire. I'm not the one creating server. Don't blame me. I'm not. It's blame not
for it. Still,
I'm not. I'm not devil.
We already agreed from the beginning. You blame fire. You just blame it on fire, bro. That's just it. That's just what it is.
Anyways, please don't blame me because people will take that seriously. But anyways, let's take a look and see where all of the teams are currently heading towards. We're seeing all the way in that coming all the way from on that northwestern side, we will see not eastern side actually. We will see the boys from Pain who might be getting into the midst of several different teams, and you can see Jacob and their boys. Now, this is another team. I do believe that they're currently sitting down in that third position or second position, just behind Rage Shield, and they're doing their thing. But there's a squad that I definitely want to see them go toe to toe against each other. I think. My Igbo accent just came out there. I think it is. I think it is Apex going up against 10-11 while they were making the rotations.
Well, that would be a pretty much interesting, matchup to watch. I was gonna say about Team Apex. I'm looking at the leaderboard. It's not quite impressed as to what I'm seeing. I'm hoping Blaze is not a new player, because that might be the reason. Having a new player on the squad, looking to get the synergy thingy back on track. But this is definitely not the Apex that we all know. Especially seeing that on day 2, they're still seated in 13th position with only 10 points to their name. 2 games have already been played today, so that's 10 points in 6 games. I'm not going to dive too deep into the analysis of that, but I believe the players there from Team Apex are definitely aware of how they should play. But man, right now it's looking like what might be City finish there from the side here, or around the side here of Los Leones. We already start to see so many of these teams trying to make it to the outskirts. I really like the fact that none of the teams have decided to fully commit into the city of Los Leones there, because we do know that with the zones here in PUBG Mobile, it can decide to switch up on you, and what might be looking to be a city finish could decide to get out of the city, and that is exactly what we're witnessing out here as we see that zone sent up quite nicely. Half of the zone onto us, that western side, is in the city. The remaining half on the eastern side is out of the city. So it's not a question of how well you can play your defenses and how well you can attack, provided you're one of those teams that find yourselves on the top of those hills on the outskirts of Los Leones.
Yeah, definitely quite quality analysis coming in from Crowns at that moment. We would see if the teams adhere to that. As we can see, several of them are currently situated just at the edge outside that zone on the southwestern region. There's a couple of teams right there, so we keep an eye on them and see the way they continue to make their move. But Active Gaming, Navy, as well as 21 look to probably get into an altercation, as we do see them edging closer and closer towards each other. It is 21 versus Active Gaming, and the shots are already beginning to let loose. I just heard a grenade right now, and this is quite an interesting one because these two teams know themselves quite well.
Yep, definitely used to fighting each other, and right now we can already start to see 21st Century looking for a little bit of a commit to this fight. Quilla holding that off angle on the top of the hill. I kind of like the positional play coming through from the side of 21st Century. If they play this well, if they play their cards right, they might just be able to take out the side there on the players there from Active Gaming. But Active Gaming, we know them to be one of those very strong squads. Can hold up on the defense, as we see Format gets that first knock onto Achilles, and this is where things start to get rusty for the players there from 21st Century. Krila tries to pick it once again, but Reels giving him a reason to stay quiet. An assignment is what the side of 21st Century have got to deal with now, as the revive does come through. The reset is there, and this push, this fight, looking pretty much like a stalemate for the time being.
Yeah, Active Gaming getting into quite an interesting skirmish. But speaking about skirmishes, we'll just turn outside quite quickly onto RSG. They do find themselves in a sticky one while they were trying to make those rotations to come through, and they did have one of the players knocked down. So there's a lot of fights going down in this particular region. As you can see, things now getting choked up, as several different teams are looking to find their spot, find their way. 21st Century have got an edge, just not too far away from Active Gaming, but it does look like they are not deciding to commit into this fight. Crowns, they are currently just looking for the proper angles to get situated in, not be over adventurous, if that's the word I should be using in this one, and just find their spots and just hold it out for now. So I think, for lack of a better way to say this in English, because in English invades me, I'll say it in Pidgin. Then they find who they go first chop.
Fair enough. They're looking for who that first knock would be, which is quite understandable. I like the splits coming through for 21st Century. I mentioned it earlier. They're holding quite the nice split. I'm really hoping that this information that they're gathering onto the side there of Active Gaming will play out well for them. They're going to need to use a little bit of nades, and it looks like Active Gaming would get that memo for the time being. As I said, right now it is Active Gaming's defense for the time, and this next zone shift, I believe, will dictate the move that will come through from the side of 21st Century. If they get the zone, they wouldn't push. If they don't get the zone, they know they have to gatekeep the side there of Active Gaming to see if they'll be able to keep them from making that further rotate into that circle. We start to already see push coming in through as Rios looking to go upstairs for a little bit of a sweep down of the building, but I don't think there's any players there from 21st Century in this compound, and I've already started to see the movements coming through from 21st Century. A couple players already finding their location in that zone, and Quilla and Roy just left to hold the side of Active Gaming, play a little bit of gatekeep. I like the proactivity.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As you can see now that the boys from 21st Century do have a better spot within that zone. Riders has got to be careful. You can see with the quickness right there. Kuvo does get the knock to come through, and there's also Quilla looking to see if he can get that knock on his side. But Active Gaming do now find themselves in a sticky situation with Nexus, the last, well, Nexus and Ghost, the last two up for Active Gaming. Ghost might be looking to see if he can get this revive to come through. I do believe that the smokes have provided him away, but he's not quite certain of Quilla's position. But that was absolutely close. But now the revives might just be coming through, and on the other end, you do see that Roy is still doing his thing.
I feel like it's too early for me to start getting aggravated, agitated, whatever the word is. Why is 21st Century not pushing that? You got two knocks. Push the fight. And Active Gaming got all revives up. 21st Century, what are you doing? And now Quilla is forced by the zone to move. They're not able to continue to engage. They can't apply any pressure on the side of Active Gaming because Active Gaming have gotten the reset. Active Gaming is not a team that you want to allow to breathe more than once. But 21st Century looking very, very carried away by the side here of 10-11 as we start to see shots coming in through from the side. Roy finds one, make that two. As Active Gaming lose two, but the side of 21st Century down by one. Now the push has to come through. Third parties coming in through. One player goes down. Format looking for more, finds a knock onto one but cannot find two as the rest of 21st Century sweep into the charge to take the side of Active Gaming out.
Yeah, nice gameplay coming through from 21st Century as they did play that one quite well. You could see when they were getting that splits, they did that quite on purpose, looking to see if they could just be patient enough to get the angles to take out the boys from Active Gaming while they begin to make their rotations. Now, speaking about teams on the other end, right there within that center, you do see that things are quite choked up. We still got about 10 teams right here within the lobby, and they are going absolutely crazy. It's even hard to keep up on every single fight. On one end, you still have the boys from Invincibles who always get themselves, those early bits of eliminations. But this time around, they've got none to their name as they're still holding it down. But speaking about things being held down, we'll just take a look at the map and see where, all of these teams are currently situated, and just look at that center circle, Crowns.
Yep, completely empty. I believe that is the quadrangle out there or one of the quadrangles there in Los Leones. So completely surrounded by the open fields or just the tall high-rise buildings and uncompleted buildings. It's going to be very tricky. I love the position coming through from the Invincibles there. Frequent vibes or frequent plays actually looking to hold on to an angle there, which is just the one player left in Reverb, as we did see them lose two players early on. But right now, it's going to be a very tricky fight. There's going to be shots coming through from left, right, and center. Who is knocking you is not who is going to thirst you. So what you want to do is not get knocked.
Oh, quite interesting plays coming through from all of these teams. As you can see on this other end too, Jacob and his boys are continuing to put in their onslaught. You didn't get to quite see that, but they had just taken out the boys from RSG and they're gunning in for that number one spot. You can see right now they've got themselves 8 eliminations so far, and it does look like they might add one more to that tally as Prison might just get taken out of the game. But so far we still got about 7 teams and things are not looking well. Things are looking quite great for the boys from Pain and 21st Century.
Yep, that's something that will work quite well. And to be honest, I'm looking at Pain Africa holding a good position. The only person or the only team that can prevent the side of Pain Africa or 21st Century from having a good game, I mean, other than the high ground being held by Frenzy, would be the side of 10-11, because 10-11 are holding quite the position there as a Prison does get thirsted by the side of Amar, who has got that devil's weapon, the MG3 in hand. And we do know players that hold that gun are capable of working wonders.
We'll see if that actually does happen in this game. If they can, just as Crowns has said, perform those wonders. But you can see the knocks continuing to fly now onto the boys from 21st Century as 10-11 are also now beginning to come into the mix. They've got 4 eliminations to their name too as well, so you can't rule them out as they're currently sitting down quite comfortably in that edge of the zone. But there's still Quilla and Jacob, who are within the vicinity, who've got those off angles. If 10-11 do decide to cross over to the other side and make that push, they might just find themselves in quite a very sticky situation. But we'll see how things goes. As we still got about 5 squads within the lobby who are looking for that number 1 spot. But you can feel the tension here, Crowns. You can feel them just, wanting that chicken dinner badly.
Yeah, and as I said, it's very tricky for them, especially given the fact that this is a city finish, right? Because city finishes, I'm pretty sure the players in this lobby are very aware that if they make the wrong moves, if you rotate into the center a little too early, you're going to get taken out by teams from left, right, center. And that is already happening for the side of 21st Century as that zone move. A little bit of panic coming through from them, trying to see if they can make it into that next circle. But when you start to rush, you start to get taken out. 10-11 finding 1 knock onto them. But right now, it's the final showdown within the last 5 teams, and we're currently in stage 7. 2 more zones.
All right. Well, Crowns, I have a question. And this is not even about this game. When I watch these guys, I feel like really scared because, when I play other games that have like a long time to kill, like let's say Apex or, a game like Farlight, which do you think is harder? A game like PUBG that has like a quick time to kill, or a game where you can shoot at a person but you have to shoot at him for a long time before he gets knocked down?
I don't know, man. If your aim is good, I don't think the time to knock actually will matter. But seeing how good these players are, that's just where that difference comes to. It will just boil down to how well you can play. I mean, in other games, you wouldn't have this many buildings or sophisticated cover to walk around, or this type of high-rise positions to play as compared to PUBG Mobile. I would say PUBG Mobile is harder because there's quite a lot that goes into the thought and into the moves that you're making. It's down to the strategy. I always love to look at that, and this is what we're already saying. Pain Africa already getting shot out from the side. They're trying to take out the players there from Invincibles, but if Yash is not quick enough with that nade, he might just get taken out. It's a good nade up onto Ronnie, but not quite able to find the knock. Tick damage is done, and Oli might just be going down for the side of Invincibles as 21st Century get taken out by the side there of 10-11. We're down to the final 3, and it is a showdown as the final zone. We await its closure.
Definitely. They'll be looking to see if they can get themselves into that good spot. You can see that the boys from Pain continue on to fight in this position, and with 21st Century now sent back into the lobby, they can maybe grab that chicken dinner. But that was massive work coming in from 10-11. But would you look at that knock coming through from Oli, as they might just be able to turn things around in this particular position, and they have now caused a lot of trouble for Pain Africa, who are now down to the last guy. Bet goes in this corner. It's looking like it might just work out for him, but can Jacob find an ace up his sleeves as it's not looking good for him, as Bego played with that wall quite well to grab themselves that winner chicken dinner.
And this is what happens when you put an LMG on the squad there of 10-11. They will make the most out of it as we see them get that chicken dinner grabbing what is that 11 elims to their name. That is a wonderful play coming through from them. I really appreciate seeing gameplays like that. It was a quick ending there. You wouldn't have even noticed the side of Invincibles going out, but 10-11 holding that flank angle very well did work out well for them. It was a very nice play also from Pain Africa. I cannot count them out. They got themselves quite decent eliminations up on board.
All right, so some lovely gameplay coming through from all of these guys. We've seen massive improvements on the lobby so far. I am super impressed. This is my point of view. I feel like it is really tense. It almost feels like I'm watching, PMC. All right. Anyways, we'll take a break right now and we'll come back for some more action, guys. I'll see you in a couple of minutes as we head into our third game of the night. See you soon. Yo.
I know you of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need a make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're
Actually, it has. Yeah, it has. I mean, we're already starting to see moves coming in through on the leaderboard, a couple of shifts here and there. Impressed to see the side of 10-11 jumping up. So, actually, maybe not so many, but I believe they were seventh before this game. But now they've jumped up all the way to third position, which is quite good to see. Red Shield put themselves in the lead so well from yesterday. Right now, that lead is starting to thin out, given that good game that Pain Africa were able to get themselves in that Miramar game. But on the other side of things, not too much movement coming in through. CC Pan Africa out there in 16th, Team Apex still out there in 13th. Pretty much on the other side of the board, nothing has changed. But Active Gaming out there still maintaining that 8th position. Galaxy Gaming still maintaining that 6th position. We started to see No Pressure drop a little bit. Actually, Active Gaming dropped all the way from 4th down to 8th position. But as we start to see that top side of the leaderboard shaping up, we are getting more interested in seeing what the rest of the games are going to present.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how this one pans out. But we're now on to a Vikendi map. Now, personally, for me as a caster, Crowns, I don't like. I really, really, really don't like casting Vikendi. Like, because I feel like Vikendi just is unnecessary. Just has too many buildings. It's just unnecessary. Like it takes, for me personally, like it takes longer than it should, for a map, and it just goes on and on and on and on. It's my least favorite map to cast, anyways. I just feel like before, except some team pushes the other and buildings, we might not see any action. We'll just be waiting. It's smaller than Mirama, but sometimes it can just be a trap. Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I,
it is
I
what it is.
understand. I understand what you mean by the game does take long. That is how Vikendi is. It does give teams the chance to stay in buildings, hold positions for however long they might deem fit,
Mhm.
which sometimes does get boring because you do not have that much action to cast. But I mean, whenever there's no early action, it just sets us up for a wonderful and very crazy end of the game. So, we always look towards that end game
Yeah.
when we look at the map there of Vikendi. But ultimately, we're going to be talking about our playing path. It wasn't too hard, but that zone all the way towards that western side. It's good given that there's not too much water. So I think everyone is going to be happy about that one, at least to hold body. But other than that, not too much of a hot drop coming on. Like we did say, Vikendi has quite the number of buildings, quite the number of cities. Only hot drop that we're seeing is somewhere around that villa area, which is Pen Africa once again in a hot drop. And at this point, I wouldn't even blame the other team that Pen Africa has landed with, right? Because I'm just ultimately going to instantly going to throw the blame onto the side of Pen Africa. And I say that because they are currently on 16th on the board. They've been 16th since yesterday. So this just gives me an idea and tells me that yesterday this was the same thing they were doing. And there's one thing I don't like to see in the gameplay of PUBG Mobile. I really don't like to see when teams don't aim to improve. I always love to see that improvement factor coming through from teams.
Yeah, obviously, I do believe that we will be seeing that so far, and we have probably seen a little bit of that in the games, as we've seen, RSG and certain teams just perform quite well in this finals. But speaking of performances, you do have the boys from Pen Africa. Now they haven't, been having quite a great performance today, and they've lost, some spots on that leaderboard, but still, they have still been aggressive in every single match, especially when it comes to landing in good spots. They've come into this game as a three-man squad, but you have to be absolutely brave if you're going to decide to land in Villa, and you can see them just like in the last game. Whether the numbers are dwindled or not, they continue to want to make that push. They are the three-man squad, but they're the one making a push up against a full team, a full four-man squad, and that definitely does tell you something about the way that they, look at this game. You can see us just continuing to search for the ups right there as he's looking to see if he can get that first victim.
On the left, to me, it just seems like a little bit of poor awareness coming in through, maybe a little bit of unnecessary aggression. But we'll see how well it works. They're going up against the side of Frenzy, so we'll see if they're able to hold on to their ends. But Frenzy's there as a full squad. They've not decided to push you. I think that would be like your cue to look for the nearest vehicle and play for the late game, which is something that we can tell from now that the side of Ben Africa, they do not have anything called late game in their minds. They just came into this game to fight, and as much as you'd love to fight, it becomes a different case if you love to fight and you're winning the fight. If you like the fight, you need to win the fight. Else, it just becomes, why are you fighting? Why not just wait, play it out, get the placement points?
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's definitely something that they do need to learn because they do have the firepower, but they are deciding to be aggressive. Definitely with a three-man squad, you should be a lot more cautious in these situations, as you guys have heard. But you can see on the other end, the boys from Frenzy are being now. This is another thing, Crowns, right? Your name is Frenzy, and then you decide I'm going to shorten it to Frez.
Oh yeah, Fire, you tell me, what would you
Why?
have shortened it to?
It's Frenzy. It should be Frenzy. Do you understand? Like, it's
Just
not
full
that long.
Frenzy.
Just Frenzy. Finish.
What if my name is long,
Frenzy
Then I'll
long.
have to shorten my name. No, not like long. Like my name is very, very like long characters, young man. Like I see they have like a Phantom V something on the squad there. How do
And
you how do you want me to write
then
his
you
name?
can then you can use some. Man, I don't even know, man. But definitely not Frez. Maybe
Yeah.
FZY. Maybe FZY. Like, yeah. But definitely not Frez. Like,
Or
yeah.
FNZ.
Yeah, exactly. Or FNZ. Yeah. Just something else. But yeah, Frez keeps making me try to say frequency. Like,
Well,
it's
look at
not
it.
as
Look at it. My man said frequency instead of frequent play. Damn,
see.
damn, bro. I think what really throws you off is or what you could use as something to put you back on track would be the capitalization of the first word. For frequent play, it's small letter F, and then for frenzy, it is a capital letter F.
Capital letter
Hopefully
F,
that
yeah.
works.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that
Yeah,
works.
beautiful.
All right, we're now beginning to see that the boys are now making their push, but it does look like it now is biting them in their foot as Ooze does get dropped down. But there's a third party from a distance coming into this position. But here comes
Hey,
RS looking for that knock, but it's DBS against DBS and one. It is Phantom who does come out on top in that position, and it's left with Omar. And I do believe that they've gotten that last knock, and it was a squad wipe from Phantom, by the way.
I mean, once again, we ask the question: what are you fighting for? You love to fight, but this was not you. Were clearly at the disadvantage. There was no point to go for the fight. But hey, you love to fight, you go for the fight. And I know players would come and bring up the excuse of we're not taking it too seriously. We just wanted to play for fun. But I don't think this is how you have fun when you play PUBG Mobile. I mean, not going out, back to back early. That is not the way you have fun at all. I'm pretty sure that is definitely not fun, but you can try to say whatever you want. I'm trying my best not to beat them up too much, but I know I've done a lot. But we're not going to talk about them too much. We start to see rotations coming in through already. Quite the number of teams finding themselves a very good position in the zone. I really wouldn't expect too much stress. The only time I would expect stress is from teams who are looking to find a huge jump on the leaderboards, who can decide to get into vehicles, start to drive around, start to hunt for shots. I feel like that's something that the side of 10-11 can do.
Yeah, obviously, we'll see how this one does play out as the teams are looking to perform quite well to themselves. And wait, just continue for a second. I want to see something.
Alrighty. We're excited to see this idea of 21st century driving around in that one mag. It's going to be Quila and Achilles heel. I really do not know what that means. I always forget what it means whenever I need to remember the meaning. But yeah, not too sure Achilles is the best of drivers here, but it's making it work for the time being. Maybe 21st century is that team that is driving around, hunting for shots, looking to hear players taking shots at each other, and maybe, just maybe, look to go for a little bit of third party action. But other than that, we're starting to see
Bro.
other positions coming in through from every other person in the lobby. We're already seeing players there from RP hold a very central position. Invincibles holding up quite towards the center with Pay in Africa. Great shoot somewhere around there. I like the fact that many of the teams have opted towards that center's part of the circle there, Fire.
Bro. I mean, I just saw some really good news right now. And so Active and Afro Esports have made it into PMCO finals.
I want to say I knew before you, but I'm just gonna let you have your moment. Come on, bro. Go.
That feels so good. That feels so good. And they disqualified a lot of hackers. So hopefully that works out, because I mean, see, I just feel like watching all the stories and the clips coming out from PMC, I'm like, man, Arab region is built differently, man. I gotta give it to them. Like, you're using JAC, you know that you're gonna get banned, but you still do it. Like, that just takes some other level of guts. I don't know.
That's what and it just piggybacks off to what we were saying earlier. You're playing for fun, but how do you have the fun in that? This is why we say do not hack the game.
Yeah.
Don't hack the game. Play clean, and you will end up well. But still, congratulations really to this idea of active gaming. Did speak to a couple of the players a couple of days ago. I'm like, okay, Shiva goes gonna try his best, and I'm like, come on, bro. I know that is something you can do, and that is how I knew, because I know I received a message like 2 hours ago, and goes, see you in PMCO finals, bro. I'm like, all right, let's get it. But yeah, back to COC though. Before we start to push too much, 21st Century looking to maybe get a revenge on the side of maybe not a revenge actually. Active Gaming
get another one
onto the side of 21st Century. Yeah, but Active Gaming on the downside here, as they've lost Reels. It does look like Invincibles are there for a little bit of a third-party action, as another player falls. It's going to be Fire Nexus. And the revive comes up onto Reels. But how does 21st Century react to this third party coming in through? How does Active Gaming hold on to the defense of the compound? Because I can tell from the way Active Gaming is positioned right now, they are awaiting a team to push up onto them.
So Active Gaming dealing with several different squads around the vicinity. They've got themselves 21st Century as well as the Invincibles. Now the onslaught might just be too much firepower coming through for them, but you can see that the Invincibles are not making a full push onto this location. On the other end, you do have Achilles currently just lurking around, just waiting to see who makes that move. And that may be the problem for Active Gaming or Invincibles, because the third-party shots coming through is sort of like just keeping them at bay for now. And we do know that normally in situations like this, the Invincibles would have made the push into the building, but they're currently being really careful.
Yeah, maybe careful, maybe passive. I can tell that it could be situations where they're trying to preserve the position that they may be holding in the circle.
Wait, what just happened? Please don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Come back, guys. Come back, guys. Okay, don't go anywhere.
So, I said it. Blame Fire. Just blame him. Blame him for everything that goes wrong, man. That is on Fire once more. But hey, 21st Century, you didn't miss too much action. You didn't actually miss anything. That's what we're talking about. Invincibles not going for that push onto the side of Active Gaming. It wasn't to be passive for them, but I realized, or I would expect, that they were only that passive because they were expecting this next zone shifts that is about to come through. So yeah, I'll give them the brunt for the W. I'll let it slide for the time being. I wouldn't call it passive play. I'll call it conservative for the time, as we start to see that zone start to close up. Apex looking to play on the edge. The zone shift isn't too much of a trouble. Many of the teams find themselves in the zone, and this is where I start to look for the aggression on the teams? Is any team looking to commit to a fight? You know, I can tell that some of these teams already have the information as to where the other players are. You know, Active Gaming is aware of 21st Century behind them, aware of Invincibles in front of them. Pain Africa is aware of every other person in that part. You know, the side there of Phenoms out there on that eastern side, they know about No Pressure. They know about the side there of Navy SEALs. You know, they're pretty much aware of everyone. Everyone kind of knows, okay, there's a squad in this compound. Now that's why I'm looking for the proactivity. Do we have those long DMRs? Do we have those snipers? Is anyone going to go for those shots where you can see if you can find yourself that intro knock and see maybe you can go for a full send onto one of those compounds that we find here in Vikendi as Phenoms lose one.
Oh, so come on, Coco being very adventurous in that particular position while they're trying to make the rotations into that zone, but frequent play capitalizing on that move and getting the knock. But speaking about teams getting knocks all the way to on that western side, it is Traitor, the man from 10-11, who has sort of been like the MVP so far and getting knocks upon knocks over and over again alongside with Bego, has now been sent back into the lobby. So not quite the start that they will be hoping for as they do lose one of their men. But that definitely is not going to take a lot from 10-11. It's just one man, but they still got. I mean, it's just Traitor. It's just a Traitor, right? You know, yeah. It's just their MVP. It's just their main man. But
what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you? Nah, I'm gonna pick you up on that one, because when you look at this 10-11 squad, maybe this is just me being biased, but you know, when you start talking about MVP, I think I'm gonna put Bego first. And I know normally statistically,
nah, you didn't watch yesterday.
I'm not supposed to put Bego first. If I was to put someone first. Look. I know normally it's supposed to be Amar.
No, Traitor.
Bego, but I'm gonna switch it up. Bego, Amar, Traitor.
It's Traitor.
Tell me in the chat. Everyone in the chat.
It's Traitor.
You know, everyone in the chat is gonna decide. The chat is going to decide. We're gonna ask it. Everyone in the chat, let me know. How do you rank the MVPs in the team there of 10-11? Would you say Traitor, Bego, Amar, or would you say Bego, Amar, Traitor, or Amar, Bego, Traitor? Let me know. Well, whichever way it is, let me know. And I know some of you start to play and say something like Snuffy. No, don't. Okay, don't. But let me see. Let the chat is gonna decide for this. We're gonna decide.
I don't want to
5 minutes fire.
I don't want to. Should I say influence them? So I'm going to leave them to properly decide. Yeah, you guys decide. You already know what my point of view is, but I wouldn't highlight too much on it. All right, so turning into.
See, we're not defending it. We know they not too much shalaye. Just let the chat is going to decide. You know, they're going to tell us what they think. Then we know who wins. You know.
Yeah, let them decide. I would accept whatever judgment you guys, the jury comes up with. It's fine. I would accept it fully. All right, so frequent play, Reverb and his boys now pull up onto this location right next to their homeboys Galaxy, and we'll be looking to see if they can, you know, somehow make it out. But this is what we're talking about in the beginning of the game, man. Vikendi and buildings. Normally, if this was a Rangel, somebody would be pushing somebody and, you know, making them bend down and bend down. They bend down like bands, you know.
Oh my God. No. Firstly, I'm going to appreciate the teams for surviving this long. 52 players, 15 teams still alive in phase 4 is admirable, is something that we love to see. Other than that, frequent plays, I'm not quite understanding what is going on here. And I think Reverb is just going for the what do I call it? Reverse psychology. You know, everyone probably expects him to be in the building, and it's like, yeah, if they know I'm in the building, they could decide to toss a grenade into that building. So I'm just gonna not stay in the building. I'm just gonna prone behind the tires and hopefully stay as invincible as possible. As we see the side of Team Apex just lurking around in the background in the outskirts of this compound, looking to see if they can gather information and maybe orchestrate a push onto the side of frequent plays.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And see what definitely happens. I can see from the chart a lot of people. Somebody said Traitor are fraud. Hey, wahala. Hey, problem. I'm already losing this. I'm losing this. Okay.
I don't know, man.
You guys, don't put me to shame now. Come on, mark by me now.
No, come on. Like I said, they're just getting to the part where we talk about it. So as I said, this is it was going to be decided in 5 minutes, and it looks like the jury is already getting to work. But hey, I'm not going to rub it in your face too much. Maybe I'll just do it for the end of the day. Maybe even extend it into tomorrow and maybe future broadcasts.
Yeah.
But how I was right. But yeah, that's just it. Papa Blue does come through. Very surprising to see that these teams have waited outside the zone for this long. Fireboy, though, looking for a knock onto the side there or looking for a flank angle onto the side of your frequent plays. And this is what I don't support. You already got 2 knocks. What are you still flanking around for? Go for the full send. You don't have the zone, so there is no time to waste. As we start to see the push coming in through, Fireboy comes in for the full send. Blaze somewhere in the background, somewhere actually close by, looking to get that one as Machine also goes to crash the compound. And that is what I want to see. There is no time for complacency, no time to wait around. But Machine now figures out the hard way that there is a player there from frequent play just up there as Machine would fall. The Blues are a little too strong on that edge, but we're going to be giving that that accolade to Reverb there, who was able to get his HP down to the lowest minimum. Waiting for that zone to take him out as a Fireboy. He's been spotted on that edge of the compound. Can he thread the day through Kuza? No, he cannot. As he lands in the building for the time being. One player is down. It's going to be Reverb as it's now down to a 1v2.
Oh boy, should they be fighting this out in the zone? They had the vehicles, you know, just get into the zone as quick as you can. You know, that would have been my advice. But you never know. I'm not the player. I'm not the one, you know. I'm not the one with the phone, you know. I'm just the caster. I don't know much about all these things, you know. I'm a bot. So, anyways, they have left it down. They have left the boys from frequent play down to the one guy, and it does look like he might be bleeding out. So we'll turn our sights onto other teams and see you know what's happening. All the way on the other side, David and his boys are going up against Frenzy, and they continue to do that damage. But just like Priest would say, they send them back into the lobby with the quickness. You know, I love that phrase, with the quickness. And I don't know how he formed that, but anyways,
that is just wrong. Frenzy, how? That push shouldn't have even happened. They should have held that better. All of them were outside. David was doing so much damage. Bruh, I don't even want to continue on that one. 21st Century looking to push up onto Active Gaming. And really like scores now 2-0. Fire, I don't know what you're saying. 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, man. I don't know if today 21st Century has put a tracker on Active Gaming and just making up for old times, a lot of old times, you know.
Seconded. And I say that because 21st Century now losing players to that blue zone. You know, 2 players already down. That rotation is already scattered because they have wanted to go for that push onto the side there of Active Gaming. So I will actually blame them a bit, and I want to see if they will be able to make it into the zone. One player does make it in is going to be Roy, and it does look like the rest of the player there, or the second player, would be able to join him on that one. But hey, fight doesn't stop as Phenoms now find themselves in a little bit of an engagement. David falls as there's a bit of third-party action coming in through. 4 eliminations for the time being as they do look to go against the side there of Royal Blood.
All right, so Royal Blood right now just in a skirmish coming through with the boys from Phenoms. So they are coming up against a team that has lost 2 players. Coco and David currently knocked down. So Bill and Treasy will be trying as much as possible to see how they can evade the shots coming through from both 21, who's on that hill, as well as the boys from Royal Blood. There's also Invincibles who are not too far away, but they've got to make that decision quite quickly. They only do have a couple of seconds to now rotate into that zone. And they're currently in stage 6. And like I said, this only happens in Vikendi, man. You know, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, now they're heading into the vehicles, looking to see if they can get into that zone. Look at those nades that are coming through. But, I don't see them making it. I don't see them making it. And you know, I feel like I have trauma. I feel like I have trauma from my playing days with Vikendi. I think that's why I hate it. I think it's trauma. I think it's trauma for my playing days, because what I think is like, yeah, back when I was playing, I'll be like, we're in stage 6 and there's still 11 teams. Like, god damn it. Like, how? Like, I hated playing Vikendi. Like, it was so bad. Anyways.
But you have to look at it this way, right? This is PUBG Mobile, especially in the professional side of things. If this were to be a Erangel, I can promise you the numbers will still remain the same, right? They maybe not in terms of number of teams alive, maybe actually, but yeah, we'll still be seeing this many players alive at this stage of the zone, at stage 6. Still expect to see about 25 players, 26 teams, 26 players still alive. So as I said, the numbers aren't too different. It's just that from here on out, many teams can decide not to. In other maps, at this time of the game is where you have to send it into a position, try to take out a team somewhere else. But in Vikendi here, there's buildings to play around. There's a lot of space that you can work with. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you have to full send or necessarily take a fight. You know, up in stage 6, you can still decide to hold a compound, hold quite a good position in the zone without taking that fight. And as I said, all of that only prepares us for a more chaotic ending as we see Royal Blood looking to go for those ridge lines or make that the trenches. Prince, they're crashing into that wall. The airbag's going to be blocking a little bit of the vision as our grenades will come through. None to find any of the players there from Invincibles, at least not the time yet, as Diva sends one beautiful grenade and the Prince swallows that grenade.
Please. Who is Diva? Who is Diva, please? Who is Diva? Who is Diva? Who is disguising as Diva? Please. Who is Diva? Who did this guys?
No, now, Danko, there's no way you're grabbing this revive. Another grenade is going to send you out. DBS in the hands, looks for Ollie, but Diva's nade, 3-piece nade. These are the stuffs we love to see. So that is wonderful and excellent.
Nah, man. Who is Diva? Who is Diva? Please, who is Diva? Who did this guys? Like, who's this person? Who is this person? Somebody's disguising. I've gone to go and sign.
So guys, essentially what Fire is saying is that Diva is not good and Diva is disguising as someone else. So someone notes clip that down.
No. That's not. No. That's not.
So Diva, you just look for Axe Fire on Instagram. You find him there.
Oh my god!
Be sure to voice out your thoughts.
It came out wrong. No, I'm not accusing anyone of sharing. I'm like, who is this player? Like,
wow,
like,
I didn't even say sharing. All I just said is that disguising, but now he said his true minds. Clip it, guys. He's saying this. This is caught in 4K, or maybe even this time 3GP, or you know.
Okay. I'm actually complimenting. If you're hearing this, Diva, I'm actually complimenting you. Lovely gameplay coming through. Like, it has been a revelation for me because I mean I don't know who Diva is, but maybe it's a lady who changed her name or something like that. I really don't know. But great gameplay coming so far. As you can see, it has been an outstanding gameplay. You can see her now going toe-to-toe against the boys on Navy, but that shot coming through from Mickey, quite surprising right there, and does get a knock and a confirmation onto Diva. But I do feel like Oli might have provided a bit more support in that position. It was a bit more proactive right there, but now they've got to try to get the placement point.
Blame Fire. Just blame Fire. He was saying Diva so much. This idea of Navy heard that and they're like, yeah, let's just go take this player out. But Oli right now, our YouTuber, hoping to see what he's able to do in this situation. One player from the Navy does look to be miswalking. DBS goes out a little too early. Looking for one, but the blue zone is too strong. And the Navy team pushing up a little too strongly. For 21st century, watching from the sidelines, looking to find one knock, and indeed would get it. They have all the space to play with. There is no team close to them for the time being as they continue to look for more. Red Shield still alive as the blue zone starts to do its work. Onto the side here of the Navy boys as we see more nades coming in through from Roy to look for a knock. It's a no look, but he doesn't quite find a knock just yet as the Navy SEALs not looking to back down on this fight just yet, looking to push up closer and closer onto this fight. Can almost call them Oxlade.
Chai, this chat stubborn pass anything. They say don't call Snuffy. The chat is still calling Snuffy the goat. Snuffy the goat. Calm down now. Y'all had one job. Anyways, all right, so back to the game. We still got Rowie right here. Rowie and Kuvo looking to see if they can, perform some magic, but they're coming up against a team that's got the numbers on them, and we'll see if they can somehow find a way to make this work. We saw it yesterday where they were absolutely outstanding, but just would you look at that? Stunner from RSG is still in this conversation. My goodness, is the plan to kill yourself? What
Not
is
even
the
that. I'm looking at 21st century. You have 2 players left. You're heading towards the final phases of the game. You can see there's 6 players alive, so it means you have 4 people to deal with. You know, there's at least 1 person coming in through from the left, which is the side of Navy, but you do not know where the rest of the team is. Now, going for these splits is not something that I really support, because if the side of Navy understands what is going on, they can push up onto that, because now Roy finds himself in a 1v3, right? Now he's taking the fight. Oh, wait, no, he's flipping the switch. He's flipping the switch. It's going to be Quavo, though, to find 2 knocks. 1 more player left for the side of the Navy SEALs, and he's looking to stand up to take the shots, and the 3-piece comes through. As 21st century, they're onto something. They know where Stoner is. And Stoner now just trying to smoke up his way. Maybe he might be able to get the 1v2, given that the 2 players there are on completely different sides of the map. But he's very aware. He knows where they are. Grenade currently being prepped up in the air, launches it towards the tree. He does get the bounce, and he finds the knock. And 1 more player to take out for the side here of Red Shield. Stoner holding on, trying to see if he can get that HP back up. But Quavo's in. We've just seen him pull off a 1v3. Can he make that a 1v4 to clutch up the chicken dinner? Another grenade in the hands there of Stoner. Prepping it up, launches it all towards the tree. Gets the bounce, but it's a little too short. As Quavo's in, looking for that angle. Stoner, you'd have to throw this from the door. Maybe he might be able to get the jump there. The last grenade, saving it up. Yeah, now you understand. He has to do it from the door. The grenade goes out. It's a good one, but his HP goes down a little bit. Able to get himself a little bit of a trade. Stoner now having to get his HP back up. This is the 1v1 here, Fire.
And quite an interesting position. It would be great to see 21 win this one, because they've done a lot of hard work in the game to get themselves into this position. But it looks like it may just go through them, as the zone is now beginning to make his move. And Quavo still in that deal and gets the final elimination. But would you look at that, my man, getting himself 9 eliminations in this game. And Stoner would just be looking like, okay, yes, I got 6 eliminations, but now I get overshadowed by this man. And you know, there's a lot of stories to tell in that, because you know, 21 took out the boys from Active Gaming. So does it mean that Quavo had a squad wipe against Active Gaming? Mad stuff coming through from them right there. And 21st century, we will be looking to see if they can move up all the way on that leaderboard. Quite some amazing stuff going through right here on the COC, as we will be looking to get ourselves into the last game of the night. I do believe we'll be moving into a Sandhawk game, so don't go nowhere, guys. Grab your drinks, your popcorn, some shekbe, and get ready for the next game. See you in a couple of minutes.
You're the one in my heart. first. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need to make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come until the end. I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one. I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart. I see you in my dreams. I keep you in my prayers. That's what
Guys, so we're heading into our third game of the night, and you guys have seen so much action coming through right there. We saw the boys from 21, courtesy of Kuvo, getting the winner chicken dinner in the last one, but it was down to those slight margins. You still saw the boys from RSG still gathered those massive placement points. So now we're going into an era girl game again. Who will come out on top this time around? We'll find out as we move in. So, Browns, what's your prediction? Who are you going to give your caster cost? Who is going to be the team, the person that, probably doesn't do quite as well?
Oh, that does not do well.
Sorry, that gets the chicken dinner. Let's start from there first. Right. Let's not cost people straight.
Active gaming.
That does well. That does well. Okay, good.
Yes. Reverse, bro.
So you're giving them They're giving them the caster cost. Okay, let's see. Let's see if the caster cost
Yes,
works for
sir.
active gaming. For me, I'm going to place my caster cost on RSG because for no other reason than they are doing so well. And
Yeah, this
yeah, that's the only
yeah, this
reason.
they're still holding up on the top of the board, 77 points up on
Mm-hmm.
board. You love to see that one. That is the game they would like to see, and I really hope they can hold down to this lead or hold on to this lead going into tomorrow's last four games, or well, yeah, last four games tomorrow. So that is what I'm keeping my eye out. So good job to decide their overage shield. It does look like Pain Africa is looking to chase a little bit. But I'm currently looking at Leaderboard. There's been a little bit moves here and there. Active Gaming being bounced out of that top eight, which is the side of Invincibles finding their way into the top six. Frequent Play also finding their way into that top eight position. So there's a few changes here and there. 21st Century jumping up to third based off of that beautiful game that they had in that last game. But I've got to say, Quavo, 9 eliminations to one player. Put it in context. No team in the whole game, that last game, got up to 9 eliminations. And one player on his lonesome got 9 eliminations. That is something to think about.
And that was some amazing feat done by Quiver. I was quite surprised when I saw that myself, but it is what it is. It's just one of those situations. Now, landing on this side, we do have 10 and 11 not too far away from RB, but they do, the boys from RB do decide to just move away from that situation, not wanting to commit to that particular fight, as we are now seeing everyone played a little bit cautiously in this particular position. So we might see if they get into the action later on. As you can see, several different teams are currently holding their spots and currently focused on getting that loot. Active Gaming, all the way in that northwestern side, not too far away from Apex, as well as I do believe that is Invincibles. And I mean,
To be honest, I'm not expecting them to take the fight. Really, like I'm saying that because this is that north western side of the map. We don't really see too much engagements go on there. I say that because there's the hospital around there. There's you have the hospital, you have Jojopol North, Jojopol South, Jojopol Southwest, Jojopol Southeast. All of these places are places that you could land and completely not even take fights with the other team that is around your vicinity. So I'm and Invincibles are somewhere around that South Jojopol. Apex is out there in hospital. Frequent Play is on South Jojopol or Southeastern Jojopol. Invincibles on Southwestern Jojopol. I mix both West and East, but whatever. What I'm saying is that they're on different sides, right? I don't think they are going to take fights with each other unless they intentionally want to do that. And if anyone on that southern side decides to take a fight against themselves, would see third party coming in through from one of those other teams. So if Invincibles tries to take the side of Frenzy, we're going to see this idea of Apex third party. If Apex pushes Frenzy, Invincibles with third party. If Apex pushes Invincible, Frenzy would third party. So it's something that I'm pretty sure these teams do not want to risk, especially this early in the game, and given that all of these teams are on that chase for making it into better positions on the board.
so here's the thing for me, yeah. You do have on one end, okay, there's NP. Okay, you can see if we take a look at the map all the way on the northeastern side, you can see the rest of his teammates are currently there. Do you think that's a mistake or that's a strategy that they're doing? They're far away split from him, and he's got his position and they've got theirs. And do you think that that's something that they're doing on purpose, or it's just a I don't know. It's just a coincidence. Maybe he was offline or something like that.
I'm having reason to believe that that Prison is the guy that was in the chat that goes, "Oh, the server is very laggy. I got kicked out." I think
Okay.
that's what may have happened there. But hey, he's here in the
Uh,
game once again, like we did in Miramar. We're looking forward to seeing if we're going to have that peaceful reunion coming in through from the teams or not. So yeah, peaceful reunion, Prison. Would you be able to pull that off? That is what I would love to see. That zone, though, looking a little bit towards that central, should I say, central eastern side. Not too bad. It's quite the circle to work with. So I'm not gonna complain about it. We're gonna work with it for the time being.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see the way this continues to play out as all of these teams will be looking to do better. Now, Active Gaming, probably one of those teams, not finding, their rhythm in today's games. They've been quite unlucky and definitely have got a bounty on their head being set by 21 as they've been taken out twice in today's games by them over and over again. They continue to get into trouble. And considering the amount of distance when it comes to their landing spot, it is why I think that there's a bounty because 21 doesn't necessarily land right next to Active Gaming, right? But somehow they do find themselves within the same vicinity when it comes to taking on those fights. So it's been quite interesting to see how it's been playing out, and we'll see if it will be the same in this particular game.
I mean, it becomes a battle of good positions, right? Because that was exactly what happened in that Vikendi game. You could tell that both teams actually wanted that position because they knew that is one of those sweet spots that if you're holding this position, you kind of get a lot of information pushing in from the north. You're able to know what is going on, and everyone just wanted that that position. Hence why we saw that skirmish come through, and we could see what happened after that engagement. The team that won the engagement went on to win the game. That is how strong of a position that is. So I think I would expect that to be the issue as compared to intentional targets. It was just a situation of, okay, this is a good position in the zone. I want this position. You also want this position. We're going to fight up for it. And that was the same thing also in that Miramar game. It was a strong position. 21st Century noticed that compound would have been one that they would have loved. But when that zone moved, it became a situation of, okay, since that compound is no longer in that zone, we might as well just keep the team there of Active Gaming. They did that, and it worked out well for them. So now, looking at Erangel, is the same thing going to happen? 21st Century find themselves on the south, Active Gaming finds themselves on the north. How is that going to work? Would they jam themselves again, or would they not jam themselves again? That is something, as you said earlier, we're looking to see how it works out in this Erangel game.
Yeah, we'll see if it will be the same as the previous games and they will get themselves into a skirmish. But before that happens, we'll continue to keep an eye on several different teams as we've got the boys from Frenzy. Mitte currently making rounds, just looking for a good spot for them while he's trying to make those rotations happen. I do believe that he spotted the boys from Apex all the way around that hospital position. If not, he would obviously be going there right now. But it's quite interesting as all these teams are being a little bit cautious. You can see them, not making the push as they did in previous games, and there has been no knocks. So I could say that this game is still a virgin.
Yeah, and that was what I was saying in that Vikendi game. That it's not just about the map of Vikendi. It just boils down to competitive play. Because when we start to watch competitive play, we know if most of these teams would decide to, favor and work and play for that late game, which is essentially what everyone is doing. So, as I said, this is stage one. There's still 59 players, 15 teams still alive. Sorry, 15 teams still alive. Nothing too surprising for an Erangel game. I love to see that one, to be honest. I would have even been more pissed if there were more players down. But speaking of players down, Invincibles would lose Diva, one of their top fraggers in that last game. See how well they play the rest of the game without that player.
Yeah, definitely Diva. Definitely Diva being, one of their main players now getting taken out by frequent play quite early on. Not what the Invincibles would have been hoping for. I think Invincibles are one of those squads that I do believe that they've got the firepower, but there's just something missing about their game to take them to the next level. I was speaking about this with Priest yesterday, that I do believe that they can be a really good squad if they would just prioritize getting into the top 5 as often as possible and know when to tune their aggression. I do believe RSG does this quite well. They're a very similar squad. They do have the firepower to take on teams, but they wait for the right moment to do that. But regardless, Sean X is not holding back as he now turns his sights onto the boys from PM and continues to get those knocks. It is just David within that vicinity. There's also Active Gaming lurking around, looking to see if they can get those knocks to come through too as well. But David might just be able to escape the onslaught coming through right there.
First off, it's a rotational fight. So I'm saying this to Sean. First off, it's a rotational fight, right? You had to drop out of your vehicle to take the knock. You got the knock and you got the confirm. Get out of there. If you're not going to push up, get get out of there. There's no point trying to look for players with a red dot scope. But ultimately, we're already starting to see players now get the knock as David looking for a little bit of a redemption. And if I were to be David, if I get this confirm onto Rage, packing my bags, getting out of there, forming up on Coco, trying to see what we can make of that play. But anyway, grenades being sent out. Rage trying to run away from that grenade, but will get spotted. Instant Thirst being spotted there, maybe not coming through yet as that player is left with a slither of HP. I would have expected David to get into the vehicle and get out of there because now that elimination has rendered, that vehicle is smoking. You know that that team is a little bit destabilized. You just want to look for a way to make it into the next sector. In fact, full send it into the water for what it's worth.
Yeah, definitely. David does find himself in a sticky situation, but he's been able to get at least one elimination to come through against the boys from Active Gaming as they were looking to make their own rotations too as well. So also falling victim of David's rage and quite a very tough position for him, but Active Gaming just pulling away from that fight. I'm sure they're not quite aware that he is all alone in this position. Regardless, they would have probably made that push. That may have saved Rage actually if they all decided to push in to this location. But regardless, they're not hackers. They don't know how many players are in that position, so they will obviously be making the smart move. Speaking of making the smart move, all the way on this other corner too as well, you do have the boys from Invincibles who have now continued to make their rotations, but there's some action going down in that center. We'll try to see if we can tune into it quite quickly.
Does look like it's Spain Africa on the receiving end though, as Royal Blood able to find themselves 3 sweet eliminations to get the game started, or maybe not, as we see the side of Spain Africa going out on the other side as Death does look to find out one of the players making that 2 now, as there's an instant thirst to follow suit up onto Venom. We do see Phenom now also getting spotted as Invincibles will find out one more of the players, but ultimately it's early game engagement. You can see that despite all of these knocks, all of these thirsts that have been coming through in every part of the map, there's still 15 teams alive. And that is just the joy of competitive. Seeing that players would do whatever it takes to actually stay alive, to be the last person up, try to get themselves as much placement points, get into those late games, get their team quite decent points to put up on the leaderboards.
All right, but speaking about teams getting themselves up on that leaderboard, you do have Apex, who have not been able to stamp their foot on the lobby, now coming into this vicinity and looking to see if they can begin the action too as well. And here comes Fireboy and his crew. Kage is back in the squad because they came into the previous one with a 3-man squad. They're up against DOS, who is also a very good aggressive team. But let's see what they do decide to do in this particular game. DBS moving forward again. He's the man who is trying to figure out where several of these players are currently positioned at. But they're not coming on to Fireboy. Might just... Ooh, man, we've got to say about that, Crowns.
I would just say Apex is doing a lot of driving around. There is Dead Toes just right in front of them. I'd expect them to look for a way to either take that team or find themselves better position in the game. As we start to see Kage just going for those lost sprays onto the rotating members there from Dead Toes. But as I said, it's not going to work out too well for them. Kage does get taken out of that, but the instant thirst is going to follow suit real quick. Because right now, if the panic play comes through from Apex to try to see if they can rush fully get that revive, Dead Dose is going to lay down the justice onto that position. They will start to lay down the fire, and at this point, I would expect Dead Dose to come for a full send. As we start to see them making that move, you already see the buggies coming into play. The flank angles are being found. Smokey does find himself a good angle, and you know it's even a choice. It's actually deciding to use the grenade to take the players there from Apex out as the grenade does land, finds one, make that 2, and as I said, Apex lurked around too much. They were also mid-rotation. You know, they found a team that was rotating, took some shots, but at that point, there is no point driving around looking for that team. You might as well just play for the late game because you're being caught mid-rotation. That is where the points comes through. If it's wearing to be mid-rotation, it would have been different, but this is in the middle of your rotation. You're taking shots. You just take a couple of shots, let them know of your presence, and just leave. You know, that is what I would have expected. Right now, it does look like it's down to Blaze to survive for that squad and see what he's able to do.
Man, Apex not having quite the best of games so far, as they do find themselves in quite a sticky situation. and they've got to find a way to step things up so far. But speaking about teams stepping things up all the way in that center circle, we do have the boys from 10-11 who are sitting down quite comfortably, and there's so many different teams. I do believe that the lobby is about to get shocked right now, because so many different teams have got to now begin to make their way into that center circle. Active Gaming all the way in that southeastern side, they're looking quite comfortable until, of course, they got to make their rotation into that center. But you don't want to be doing that. But what you got to say about this position that 10-11 is holding for now? That's quite brave, as they do find themselves in a situation where everyone's going to be focusing on them.
Yeah, it's a very good compound. Gives you, it's on the outskirts of mansion. You get a little bit of the high ground advantage, see everybody. But that is one of those buildings that it's quite easy to crash. But if you're holding angles, or if you have players split across the buildings and you get crashed, it's going to become a little bit tough for you to hold that defense. But if you have all your players in either the squad house or you're keeping eyes, you're able to close up whatever split you may be holding. It is quite a confident spot to hold. You get to see a lot that is going on in the zone. So 10-11, I keep my eye on you, see how well you can capitalize on that position that you've currently got yourselves in that zone.
Well, we'll see how that one continues to play out as we do turn our sights and focus on to David. He's still somehow surviving in this game, as he's got several different teams in front of him trying to make those rotations. 21st Century as well, one of those teams trying to find a spot that will be blindsided to several different teams, and now they continue to send out the shots onto other teams who are now continuing their own rotation, as well as the boys from Navy are being forced out of this region. But I like what 21st Century was doing. They split apart and just sending out warning shots onto several different teams just to say, hey, you know what, just make sure you stay clear of this position.
Though, looking for that last player there from PHENOMS, it's David. It's been a huge survival for the team, as those trenches would prevent the runover from coming in through. Quilla definitely wants to run over, tries again, DBS in the hand, or make that there. Swafk finds the knock onto one of the players, but here comes the third party as 21st Century now reduced to 2. Navy squad looking to pull up, and now Quilla might just suffer the same fate as David, who's just taking out did, as take some shots towards players there from the Navy squad, who right now are going for an unwilling split, like I like to call it. But Quavozin is the player that is down for the side of 21st Century. And I like the fact that even despite that player being one of the strongest fraggers on the squad, they've not decided to sacrifice, the late game for that revive. Normally we would see the teams try to grab that revive onto the strongest player, but right now we're seeing them just go for a little bit of a disengage, and that is a very admirable play coming through from 21st Century.
Lovely stuff so far. They do find themselves in quite a situation too as well. The shots coming through over and over again. And NP, the guys from No Pressure, continue to put in the damage onto the boys from 21st Century, and they are sending out those shots. But usually NP throughout this tournament, I'm always seeing them lose players quite early on, but it's quite an event when you see them in this stage still with a full squad. We're in that stage 5. Somehow Quilla has found himself into that zone. He might still be able to make things work, as several different teams all around the outskirts are sending on them shots onto themselves, and we'll see how it progresses.
Bro, that buggy was healthy like 2 seconds ago. You could have left. But Quilla staying around. The buggy's out of commission now because the back tire is gone. So it's going to be the smoke play and trying to play around this buggy and cover for as much as possible. Quilla is able to get his aim right. Might just be able to take out the side there of Death Dose as they look for a circle. Invincibles on that northeastern edge, or make that northwestern edge of the circle, looking to put in a little bit of bullets in the bodies there from Galaxy Gaming as the captain, looking to lose his back tire for the time being. Right now, with the blue zone already pushing up, Galaxy Gaming cannot waste any more time fighting with the side of Invincibles. I can tell what Invincibles want to do. They just want to destroy every rotational path in their way, as Galaxy Captain not quite able to get 2 knocks on that one. Only one player would suffice, as Oli has to grab a revive up onto Sean there, but I don't know, man. That's already pushing in. The player gets uprooted. Oh, man. It's almost, I feel like giving these players like a yellow card for time wasting.
Oh, quite a tough day for a lot of these players, but we're now turn our sights onto the boys from Active Gaming, as they've still got a 3-man squad. They're sitting down in this one, trying as much as possible to see if they can put up a better performance, because they did lose their position. They were currently sitting down in, I do believe it was 4th place before the games today started, but courtesy of the boys from 21st Century, they've not been able to show what they can do, as the bounty has been placed on top of their head. But just in front of them is another juggernaut for them to cross. Another huge line. It is 10-11 Traitor and his boys who are just waiting and itching for that one opportunity to start to take them down. Active Gaming has got to make sure that they can get a knock onto one of the players from 10-11 if they will look to occupy this position.
Yeah, but Active Gaming cannot stay here for too long, right? If you're going to push up into that compound 10-11 is holding, you have to push into it as soon as possible. There is no point lurking around. Once you start to lurk around, that's where trouble comes, because we're already started to see third-party players coming in from behind. I believe that is Dead Those looking to just rotate just right behind them. The smokes can only cover you for so long, because the side of 10-11 don't need to do anything. All they just have to do is chill, right? But Active Gaming, they need to be able to clear out their backs before they decide however they want to push into the side of 10-11, or decide to hold this into the reach line. And as that zone moves, 10-11 now have the mission to do, and it needs to get into that zone.
All right, so we'll see how this one continues to play out, as Nexus will obviously be thinking of a way to not just rotate into that zone, but watch his back, as the boys from 10-11 are currently occupying that region. You can see the smokes already beginning to fly, but he's quite aware of 10-11's position. It does provide quite a very sticky situation. You can see him already preparing with that smoke to provide some cover so that he can evade the shots coming through from several different regions. Riders is still in that position, trying to see if he can get a knock onto the boys from 10-11. And right now they're in a gatekeeping position, with Riders getting a knock right there. Nexus providing a cover from a distance, but he will also get taken down, and I do believe by Bego. And that leaves just Format in this situation down to somehow try to battle it out from them. But can Format get a knock onto the boys from 10-11 just in time? You can see him just being absolutely quiet for now, but he turns his back on the ups, and they're able to surround him and finish the work. And that does leave only 4 teams left in the lobby, as it is those 10-11. But oh my goodness, would you look at that?
Guess who has 0 kills and guess who has 4 kills right now?
Come on, it's just this game. It's just this game.
What you saying, bro? What you saying, bro? What you saying, bro? Bego clutches, bro. That's just it. 11 eliminations onto the side.
You said that like a rap line.
11 eliminations for 10-11, and they're not looking to stop anytime soon. There's 3 teams left in the lobby. 10-11 still up as a full squad. The players there from Royal Blood holding up quite nicely, and this is where 10-11 might mess it up, because I already see them get into the lobby, and I think the call is maybe like a 4v4 is what they think. Now they know it's a 4v3, but it is too late. I love the army being held by player 10-11, but the return fire coming through from Traitor, not enough, as Traitor falls to the mini 14 coming in through from Danko. Does get another knock as Amar falls, and 10-11 have ruined it. 2 players left. Danko though will fall. As you know how we say, Bego clutches that one. Bego's still looking for more, but that vehicle, if that vehicle explodes, it might just seal the deal. Player 10-11 still has that angle, and he's not doing anything about it just yet. And I like the play. It's just being a little bit patient, making Bego play that distracting force, trying to distract the side there of Royal Blood from noticing what player 10-11 might just be up to.
Man, for a second I thought that 10-11 had bottled it, but they still are in a very sticky situation. They've got to find a way to get into a good spot within that zone. Posh and Prince somehow have been able to reduce the numbers. At some point, I felt like they were pushing too aggressively. They had this game in the bag. All they had to do was be very careful, but they probably got a bit too excited. But now with that extra knock coming through onto Prince, it does turn things on its head, as it's just now left with Posh, and it's currently left in a position where things are very sticky for him. As he's got 2 players on 2 different corners. If he can get a knock onto at least one of the players on 10-11, he may just be able to turn this game around. But you can see that Bego is just waiting for that one opportunity. It's like, just pick, man. Just pick and I'm gonna knock you back to heaven. Just pick.
I mean, you can already see Porsche though, holding up a push actually, holding up just right behind the vehicle, playing with the rock. This is, when they say you're caught in between a rock and a hard place, that is exactly what they mean there. We Porsche just being in the center of the circle, Bego looking to move on, going for that prone, moving on to the side. Now he stands up to play a little bit of a distraction as the grenade does fly out towards players 111's position. And 10-11 clean things up once again today as they get themselves 15 eliminations, a chicken dinner. Player 10-11 gets himself 6 eliminations, the most. But I've just got to say, one thing I know is I won the battle and the argument today. Bego clutching it up in the final game. 5 eliminations to his name. He does it. He don't miss. He's just good like that. Traitor, I love you. But, when we're talking about the MVPs in 10-11, at least for now, it's still going to be Bego for me. Bego, Amar, Traitor.
Well, yesterday it was actually Traitor that was doing this thing. But anyways, we've seen. Wow. Anyways, so that's the juju. Well, it's all good. It's all good. We've seen some great action coming through from these players today with 10-11. I mean, looking to see if they can steal the night. Will that place them on top of the leaderboard? We'll see. You guys can find out on the social medias. You can go and check out the Clatter of Clans on the social medias for the leaderboard, for the updated leaderboard. We'll be right back for some more action. Same time tomorrow as we go through another set of games. So don't miss it, guys. Will we see some other teams who didn't do quite well today come back and perform quite well again? Like we saw a resurgence from 10-11. We'll see if they can. Same time tomorrow. See you then. That's all from me and Crowns. It's bye-bye you. Crowns, anything to say?
The only thing I just wanted to say is 10-11 with the chicken, who bust them up on top of the leaderboard, but maybe not to number one just yet. As I said, Red Shield are holding quite the position on number one on the leaderboard. I look forward to seeing how well Red Shield would defend that position tomorrow. And this is why I like the Clatter of Clans finals, right? Every time or every season, we tend to see a team has to defend their position for that number one. Last season, it was Invincibles defending from Active Gaming. And it looks like this season now, it's going to be the side of Red Shield defending from 10-11. I mean, even last season, 10-11 was also in that race. So it's a little battle for redemption tomorrow on the final day of the Clatter of Clans season 19. So yeah, that is what I'm looking forward to. And I want to see these teams bring their all.
All right, you've heard it from Crowns. Maybe we might see some resurgence from teams like Active Gaming and Apex in tomorrow's games, or we'll see 10-11 sort of snatching away that number one spot from Raid Shield. So we'll catch you guys for some more action, same time tomorrow. And for now, it's bye-bye. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe. It's free. They don't charge you on YouTube, okay?